Rob Kardashian broke his silence about why he disappeared from the public eye in an interview with his sister, Khloe Kardashian, on her Khloe in Wonderland podcast show. So it's nothing new. We all already knew this. Rob doesn't feel confident. He doesn't feel comfortable in the skin he's in right now, right? And so that's basically what he said. But the thing that actually kind of shocks me about this is how long it's actually been. Because it's so crazy. Like, it still feels like just a year or two ago that he stepped away from the family show. However, it's been 8 years. He hasn't filmed for that show in a regular capacity since 2017. And here's my thing. If you don't feel comfortable with your skin, you don't like the way you look or whatever, why don't you change your lifestyle or something so that you can get to where you want to look? You've had 10 years now, 8, 9, 10 years, right, of not being happy. When are you going to do something about it? That's what I don't understand, because he comes from an incredibly rich family. He's got all the time in the world. He doesn't work. And on top of that, he pawns his daughter off on his sister. So he truly has all the time in the world. There are people who have stress about money, stress about time, stress about dealing with their kids, right? And yet they make these little efforts every single day, right? Whether it's changing the way they eat, whether it's becoming more active, and slowly over time, they manage to transform themselves into somebody that they feel happy looking at in the mirror. So forgive me for not really feeling bad, not really empathizing with somebody who has all the time, money, and access in the world to do something about the way that they look, and they're choosing not to, and instead they're choosing to kind of just like wallow away. To me, it would have been one thing if he said, oh, hey, I suffer from like agoraphobia, right? Because there are people like that, right? Where for them, it's more so, I don't want to be around people. I don't want to go outside. Like, this is a psychological thing for me, but it's something as simple as I need to change my lifestyle, and I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to mope and hide away and just let life pass me by. I don't know. Or is he just not listing the real reason? Because maybe he's actually clinically depressed or something, right? Maybe that's why. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like there's might be a deeper reason than that. Because again, to me, it's not cutting it. It's not. Bruce says 2017 being 8 years ago. Listen, you and me both. Just life has never been the same since 2020. And the concept of time has never been the same since 2020, right? It's absolutely insane. It is. Even the fact that 2020 itself was 5 years ago. Honestly, I feel like I'm going through like some kind of like break, like a break with reality every time I think about it. Like there's life, I think now a lot of us think about life in these two segments, right? The pre-COVID life and post-COVID life. And it's done a real number on all of us. It really has. T-Root says, you're so right. He has enough time and resources to do something about it. Exactly. You can have a chef in your house giving you all organic everything. You can have this beautiful garden in your backyard. So everything is organic, homegrown. You're in this place with the most beautiful climate, sunny year round, right? You could be eating really well. You could be in the best gyms. You can have a personal trainer. You can have everything. If you want plastic surgery, you can have that too. You can have anything you want so that you look as good as you want to look. And you're not going to do any of that. And I'm supposed to cry for you? Please. Shelby says none of them look how they like how they look. And that's true, right? They all change your appearance to be unrecognizable. I bet it's hard to like your appearance when everyone who looks like you changed theirs. You know what's so funny, speaking about that, Shelby? There's like this clip going viral of like Khloe in that episode. There's like an episode where like people are like writing into her, right? And so she's responding. And somebody's like, oh, you Photoshop all your pictures. You're so fake. She's like, you know what? I don't anymore, but I will admit that I used girl. And meanwhile, the podcast is filtered too. The reality television show is filtered. These people are so freaking insane. They truly are, right? I can't with this family. The jokes write themselves with these people. Bree says, my nieces were born in 2020 and they start kindergarten next month. The time flies. You know, that this kind of reminds me of anytime I meet somebody born in like the year 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4 or something. And then like, you'll be talking to them and you'll be like, oh, this person seems young. Like, oh, like I wonder how old they are. And then they tell you they're born in like the year 2000 and something. You're like, You can talk, you can walk. Like, what? That's crazy. And mind you, I'm born in 93, so they're not even that much younger than me. However, just the birth year starting with a 2 is just something so mind-blowing about it, and them being grown, just as I still refer to something that happened in the early 2000s as a few years ago, right? It's crazy. It feels like it just happened, like 2015, 2010. It all feels like just a couple of years ago, y'all. Acacia says, I guess depression is real for Rob. Hopefully he gets the help he needs. He has the money to get it, unlike so many others. And that's the thing. I think that is the real problem that he's dealing with, but he's not naming it properly, right? Like, I have a hard time believing that you hide yourself away for almost 10 years, almost a decade, right? You're not involved as it seems like you should be with your daughter. Because again, why the heck does Dream look at Khloe as another parent, right? When Rob shares custody with Black China. So she's got Black China 50% of the time. And then Khloe's her other parent when Rob's supposed to be, having her. Like, this stuff to me feels more like it's psychological. There might be a depression or something going on. And, like you said, Acacia, he's got the access to be able to really treat it in a way that other people who suffer from depression can only dream of, right? So I wish and hope that he will one day take advantage of that. Listen, life is too short to be, to be suffering like that and to not really be making moves to get yourself some help. Oh my God, buenos dias, Shem Jam. How are you, boo? Happy Thursday. East also says, I went out on a date with a 25-year-old gym bro that called 2008 hits as recession music. You know what? He kind of ate with that, though, because it was a big recession in 2008. But damn, Gen Z is different. They truly are. Oh, my God. Cynthia says, I don't feel bad for Rob. He has all the resources and chooses to pity himself. He's a good-looking man. Get your ish together. Listen, it sounds harsh, but it's the truth. People are suffering, man. People can't afford rent. People can't afford groceries. People can't afford their medication. And here's this man who can afford all of that, not only for himself, but for half the freaking country. And we're supposed to, buy into this, woe is me act. I'm sorry, but please, let's move on. Let's get into J-Lo, y'all. Good luck, Rob. Listen, just go ahead and get yourself some help. There's no shame in getting help. There really isn't. Now let's get into the J-Lo. It's been a while since we talked about J-Lo, hasn't it? Do you guys remember that big smear campaign against her when she was going through her divorce with Ben Affleck? I almost wonder if Ben Affleck is the one that funded that, because it was happening right in the midst of her going through that divorce. And then poof, all of a sudden they stopped talking about her. Whereas before she was a meme, everything she did had to be picked apart and humiliated. It was a really ugly time. It really was. And it wasn't that long ago, right? So anyway, she was doing a concert and one of the concert goers held up a poster that said, "Marry me, J-Lo." And so J-Lo clapped back saying that is not something she's doing again anytime soon. Mind you, this woman has been divorced 4 times. So I'm glad she finally learned her lesson. But take a look at how the interaction went down.
J-Lo, marry me? I think I'm done with that. Yeah, I tried that a few times. Anyway.
How do y'all feel? Should Jenny from the block hang it up, stop marrying, stop divorcing? Listen, I think she should. I think after a certain amount of divorces or whatever, it's probably best to just live in partnership and call it a day, right? And so I'm glad that for her, and especially for her children, she has finally decided that this is the moment, right? Ali says she's waiting for Diddy to get out of jail. Damn. I feel like she hates that man. That's crazy. Jaleesa, no, I did not see that. That is scary. I'm not surprised, though, because there was an episode of The Housewives of Beverly Hills where he was pissed off at her and he snatches her up by the arm like this. And he tells her that he could break her. He could break her arm if she didn't come with him and stop. So I'm not surprised. That is really, really sad. She does not deserve that. Nobody deserves that. I am horrified, but I am glad that she is opening up about it. She does not feel ashamed because there's no reason to feel ashamed. And I'm also glad that this can help her when it comes to keeping her money, because this man was a grifter. He's going to try to go for broke with her. He wants all her money. And so I hope that you know, this coming out with this is going to help her be able to protect her money for herself and for her children as well. And I agree with you, Lex. And yeah, Gail, I think so as well. I wish he would be honest about it. Kylie and Kendall, yup, listen, Caitlyn Jenner did a terrible job of integrating his Jenner Kardashian kids with his original kids. And the other kids said so as much, right? They said that like he pretty much ditched them as soon as he got with Kris. So this is the result. They go to like all of the Kardashian weddings, but none of the Jenner weddings. And that's really, really sad. And that's Caitlyn's fault. He didn't foster a proper relationship between the two of them. Allie. Akeisha says J-Lo did a concert or Ashanti. Oh, good question. Speaking of Ashanti, how sad is her reality show with Nelly, y'all? Oh my God, that marriage sounds terrible, terrible, terrible. Rob Kardashian needs to see us. I agree. He really, really does. Honestly, Rob, I think it's time. You've got more than enough money to do it. Lex says, and time. Lex says 100% Grace or 1,000%. My mom's been divorced 3 times and it makes me never want to get married. And I don't blame you. This is what it typically happens to the children of people like this. Like I know some people in real life like this who have the same issues, right? Where their parents were constantly getting married, getting divorced, dragging them through all of this. And like for them, now they have this like permanent fear. And I hate that, right? I hate that for you, Lex. I hate that for everybody who's gone through that because it's so freaking unfair that kind of fairy tale, not in the Disney sense, but like in the hopeful sense, right? Like was stolen from you guys. Ferris is another example of a woman marrying down. Yup. I still don't understand how the hell she gave that man the time of day. You were Denise freaking Richards, dude. Denise Richards. Like, did you not know the queen that you are? Like, this guy? Really? That's crazy. Anyway, y'all.